The following program contains opinions, observations, and a few jokes that take direct aim at the ideology of white supremacy. On this podcast, we attack ideas, not individuals. If anything said on this show makes you feel an overwhelming urge to physically confront white evangelicals, Trump voters, or anyone else, please note that would be a personal life choice, not legal advice, not encouragement, and definitely not covered under our weak-ass insurance plan. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
You already know. This is a very, very, very special episode. In fact, it is our first time on the road filming at a very special location with a very special person. We are at the very own Roots Bookstore and Marketplace. The only black-owned bookstore in Miami.
Yep.
South
Florida.
That is beautiful.
One of very few black-owned bookstores in the state of Florida.
Oh, I'm so proud.
We are.
So beautiful.
It is not only owned by a very awesome, brilliant, trusted person. It is also curated by somebody who I just have so much respect for. Leader, activist, organizer, creative, founder of the Dream Defenders.
Co-founder
of the Dream Defenders. One of
Yes.
many founders of the Dream Defenders.
So many.
FAMU graduate.
Yes.
My good friend Phillip Agnew.
Cue the applause. I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
I would also like to add, you are actually one of the first friends that I've ever had that I acknowledged and identified as like a leader. I was like, oh, not only do I know this dude, he is actually like a good leader. Like, I feel moved to listen to him. If he tells me to go left, go right, I'm going to be like, bet, let's do it. I'm going to have questions afterwards.
Yeah.
But, you know, off rip, I'm going to be like, let's go.
That means a lot to me.
Word.
I mean that. That means a lot.
I will also want to add, we are here with my beautiful co-host and wife, Angela Peoples. When we brought this idea to reality as we were cooking it up, the N-Word podcast, we definitely sat with each other and we were like, all right, who would we ever like want to interview, have on the show? You were definitely like top 5.
Top of the list.
On every list that we ever, whenever we asked ourselves that question, you're always on that list.
Okay.
Top of the list.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers to life. We're here.
Can I? I you know this about me probably, but I feel very uncomfortable accepting all the great things that you've said about me today and before. I'm working on that. I don't think that I am the best leader or have been the best leader, but I do appreciate that there have been parts of our lives where you've seen my leadership as something worthy of following. And I do mean that because I don't see myself in that way all the time. And not being deprecating.
No,
but
I think a lot of great leaders have that same challenge. And part of it is because we see leadership as a calling, but also as a communal thing, right? And so being given credit as a leader is like, well, everybody's doing it. Are we all doing it? But that's not actually the case. So I hear that, and I as a someone who has been in positions of leadership myself throughout different times in my life, I've had that similar struggle. But yeah, it's important to both name. We need leaders. We need many leaders,
all
not
of them.
one.
Yeah.
We
Many
need
types
lots
of leadership.
And leadership can be hard. It's very challenging, and so it's important to shout the folks out that do it well.
For sure.
That step into it, even in vulnerability, even in ways that are you can even name are flawed or able to be improved upon, that's important.
Can I say something really quick?
Sure.
Also,
this is
you all, in my opinion, you all are creative geniuses.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
okay,
you.
so this is so I've always admired your skill, right?
Word.
I'm getting you. But I've always admired. I think what we did with Dream Defenders, you, Sandra, Steve,
Word.
the other creative people that have come through Dream Defenders at that time would not have, like, we were a perfect mix. And one of my, not regrets, but I wish we really did know what we had. I think we knew what we had,
For sure.
but
Yeah.
like knew what we had because, how you were able to translate and still able to translate concepts and make them resonate with people.
Word.
And when you all got together, and it's not you are your own creative genius,
Totally.
right?
Word.
But I just remember, I feel like seeing it from afar a little bit because you weren't in Florida anymore. And what you all have been able to create, it is, I don't know how to put it, it's masterful. It's not easy to translate these high-minded theories that people have into things that are not only understandable but attractive, like irresistible. Like the things that you all do together, the way you communicate, the way you love our people, the way you just love each other. I have so much to say about you all, but I do want to say, like, I'm honored to be on the show with y'all, and I think very, very highly of you all. I'm glad you're back in Florida, even though you live a whole flight away from me.
Listen.
That's a whole other thing. I think you're in Florida.
Right. That South Florida drive, that 45 to minutes. Like, wow,
it's different in Florida. In New York, you're like 45 minutes away. You're like, all right, I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Word.
In South Florida, so we live where we live is in Broward County. Phil's down here in Miami-Dade County, and it's like close, but it's not.
But it ain't.
Right.
But we're really honored to have you on the show too. And as Kevin was saying, you were definitely top of the list of folks that we wanted to be in conversation.
I'm gonna make it worth your time.
We're here, right, in the Roots Bookstore Marketplace. Like, tell us a little bit about this space and this place, how it came to be. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
It really is.
If you are ever in South Florida, make it your business to get here to experience the bookstore because it's incredible. But please tell us more about the inspiration behind it.
Got to start with Danny Agnew.
Danny.
Long live Danny Agnew. I can smile and say that now. I can talk about Danny in a way that I wasn't able to do in some ways when he was alive, because he was my younger brother. We have a little rivalry in some ways, but it starts with Danny. Danny, I remember he started something called Imtizamo. It was like the precursor to Roots. And he was experimenting like Adinkra symbols and African consciousness. But Danny came down here with me, helped start Dream Defenders, was there. And he started something called Roots Collective. And it was him, Munch, Dantrell, Isaiah. And they were like coming together all over the city and uniting around Black economics and enhancing and supporting the Black elements of Miami. South Florida writ large, too. And he had a venue, he had a space, and he had all of those things. And so Danny was a great cultural organizer. He was a hustler, an entrepreneur, a wild guy.
Word.
And up until the end, he was making shirts and designing and doing things. And so up until that end. And so Danny transitioned a few years ago. We lost the building that we were in. We got into a battle with the slumlord, and we lost that building. We were renting. And we had the opportunity. Danny began working as soon as he transitioned.
Wow.
I want y'all to know that. There are schools of thought and spirituality that say sometimes the spirit takes years to navigate and find its way to you.
Yeah.
Danny, as soon as he got up there, I could tell he was like,
Making moves.
okay, this is how you do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this real quick. We closed that building. Zabo got an email from somebody saying, hey, where's the building? We had to close it. Why? I have a building. I think you all would like it. It's this building we're in right now, right? So some random person emails, boom.
Yeah.
We come see the building. We like the building. We don't have money to buy a building.
Right.
We don't have the resources, the wherewithal, all of that. a partnership came up with the Miami Foundation. You know, I don't usually give this type of deference to these organizations, but Miami Foundation stepped in. They have a program, and everything lined up. Wow. And it was because of their appreciation for Danny too. Yeah. It wasn't me. It was Zabo, but it wasn't me. It was like, we love Danny. We want to help. We get the building. Then I think, what do we want to do with the building? Because it's not big enough, you know, for it to be the event space that it was. Yeah. And my brother always wanted to have a bookstore. My father sold books. We grew up with my dad being a bookseller. So short story long, I said, oh, let's do a bookstore. And I think that was Danny as well. He was like still working and making this idea. These things feel like they came to me, but it was spirit. And so we opened the bookstore, and 90% of the books we opened with were my father's. Wow. We went and picked up the books from my dad.
Gorgeous.
And so the building is beautiful. The space is beautiful. People come in here and they feel the spirit. Yeah. And I think it's the spirit of Danny. My father's still alive, but I think his spirit is in here in these books. And then as we continue to cleanse and make sure our spirits are right, it's us making the space and making people feel welcome. So that's a longer story, but it all, you know, Danny, a mural of Danny is right here. He's always in here, and it starts with him. I got to give him the credit, even though it pains me to do so.
We love a little sibling rivalry.
That's so real.
Big shout out to Danny. It does. Yep. It feels like I appreciate you sharing that story, because it does feel like an anointed space. Okay, I've been here a couple of times for different things, and it as it's grown and evolved and become more beautiful and more welcoming, it feels very anointed and precious and special, especially in this community.
15
in this space that needs more life, and that has a lot of life and can be really grown and built upon. So it does really feel that way to me.
You can also tell that like you have a relationship with like books in your life.
Lifelong nerd. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
Word. And like with your family and just that connection, and I love that, because I feel like for myself, you know, growing up, even now, like reading is like very challenging for me. To like make time to like pick up a book and like go read a book. It's a huge challenge, because I'm also like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, the kids, I'm tired, working out. So I'm curious, like, what's something that you could tell me or other folks to like, all right, how to like, you know, pick up reading more frequently? How does that become easy?
I have an answer for you, and it's short. Probably one of the shortest answers. I read right when I wake up, right before I go to bed. As soon as you wake up, read a chapter of a book. In the morning, I try to read something that's heady, and at night something more creative, because you know it's nonfiction in the morning, fiction at night. One chapter when you wake up, one to when you go to sleep. Before you go out, you're parents. You all are parents, so they're knocking on your door, they're doing that. Pick it up, put it on your nightstand, read right when you wake up and right before you go to sleep. Easiest way to do it. You will go through many books that way.
It's also a good intervention to adjust from the like pick up your phone when you wake up.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. You are reading all day.
Yes, that's very true.
But you're a reader.
Right. For sure. And it's the psychology of it is deep for me, because I feel like growing up, reading was like a punishment. It was like it wasn't like I was reading for joy. It was like, all right, you're playing outside too much, or you
come on, get your ass in here,
get your ass in,
open that book.
Why are you never reading the damn book?
In a book. And there was the flip side. It was like he always got his head in a book. You know what I'm saying? You were always in the book. You need to live life. You ain't gonna learn nothing in that book. You know.
So the psychology of it is deep, but like you said, it's like you're reading every day. So like there's on one reality I have to give myself credit, because like, bro, you're reading every day, because I really do, like, you know, to your point about translating concepts into design. Part of that creative process for me is like, all right, literally dive deep in the depth of the research. Read all of the things. All right, if a name just happens to stick out to you, dig deeper into that name and see if there's a connection. Find the connections. Take a step back. What does it mean to you? Now find words. Like So I do have to give myself credit in that I do read in that way. But when it comes to like, all right, how many books am I combing through?
Yep.
That's definitely a challenge, but I'll definitely take you up on that. Read to start the day and read to end the day.
And I would say, like, when you are doing something that's new, like, you don't go straight to the hardest thing. Like, read what you want to read.
I like to read shorter books too. Books that are a little smaller, so you feel good about finishing it.
Yes.
I've noticed that I like
make
short
it a
essays.
laborious thing.
Like the essays that pile up, or the compilation of essays.
Yes, those are good compilation books.
Books of poems. Like, just start. I do love reading. I grew up reading. My mom is a teacher, and I've told this story before. My mom is a teacher, and my dad was on Jeopardy. My dad loves knowledge. My dad is the trivia king. Like, my dad come in here right now, and he'll sit and he'll talk to y'all, and you will think he's a graphic designer or a cultural organizer, because I've seen my dad do it so many years. You know, any skill or talent you see in me in conversation and in talking, I got from my dad. My dad, he'll sit here and he'll be like, "Well, have you heard of Carl Moon?" And you'll be like, "No." And he'll be like, "You gotta know about Carl Moon. He was one of the first blah blah." You'll be like, "Thank you, Mr. Agnew."
He's like giving you facts about Helvetica and different type fonts and stuff.
Yeah, I remember when that font was first designed. It was the 60s.
Comic Sans first rolled out.
No, my dad is like that. So I love knowledge, and so a lot of it is in books, and it feels good. It's an ego thing too.
Word.
You know, be like, I read those.
I read that shit already.
Also, lately thinking about more of how social media is, and a lot of the things are kind of making us sick and manipulating our brains and being used by the corporations and all of that to like capture our attention. I feel like me reading is like, fuck the man. Like, reading is like, you're not gonna take my attention,
my brain.
No, you're not gonna take. And that's the ego part for me. So it's like, I'm smarter, I'm stronger than your manipulation tool over here.
I mean, and that's been the reality since chattel slavery.
Oh, true.
You know, them not wanting us to read, not wanting us to educate ourselves. So even thinking about that baked into the psychology of me fighting through like legacy and generational attacks on not wanting me to read, not wanting us to read. It's a mind fuck. One thing I wanted to ask you is what's your connection to going to FAMU? Like, what was that decision for you? Was that like also like paved by your family?
Yeah, because you're not from Florida.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. How much time you got? I can talk about FAMU. Hey, as you all already know, once FAMU enters the chat, the convo is gonna be completely.
I was just
kicking the door.
Just go ahead, lay back.
Baby.
FAMU, how I love thee. I will make a abridged version. No. Family, first generation, didn't know anything about college, didn't know anything about HBCUs, didn't visit FAMU before I came, didn't visit a college before I came at all. I am and was a musician. I was making money every Sunday. I was playing for churches. I was playing drums. I was playing a little bit of keys, but I was singing, playing drums, and I was playing for a United Methodist Church, St. Mark United Methodist in Chicago, and they were paying me good, and I had no desire or really need to go to college in my mind. I went to a good high school, and I did moderately well at this good high school, which was good, and I got accepted to FAMU, but I was like, I'm good. Like, you go to college to make money. And I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to do this. And I got to give my church credit because it was it was a very good. The church was made up of people who had like what is the word? An expectation that their children went to college. And I remember being on the drums specifically. I'll fast forward a lot through the story, but I remember being on the drums where I played. And all of the seniors from the church, and I didn't go to the church, but they accepted me in. And they were like, oh, I'm going to Harvard. I'm going to Howard. Oh, I'm going to University of Illinois. And everybody clapped. And then I was at the end, coincidentally, because of where the drums were. And they're like, Phillip, didn't you graduate?
Where are you going?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm staying. I'm
doing with you.
Yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't need to go nowhere. And they would not have it. And they raised the offering for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
They
is
raised the
beautiful,
offering for
bro.
me. And, my pride, but, they raised the offering.
I can just imagine you just be like,
like
you getting ready to leave. You like, let me just skate on out of here. You young man.
Where are you going? So I told them I got accepted to FAMU, and there were some FAMU alumni at that church.
Oh, it was over.
Nice, yeah, it was right.
over.
And they're like, that's where you going,
Bet. Where you going?
And then to boot, like 7 or 8 of my close friends from Whitney Young High School went to FAM.
Oh, that's dope.
And they went to the summer program, and I remember they called me, and they're like, bro, the women, dog, they love, it's like, I was like, I'm coming. I ain't know nothing about nothing.
I'll be right there.
Just in that voice, I'm like, I'm on my way. Let me get my glasses. I'm ready. so yeah, I was like, yo, let's go to FAM. And so it was really coincidental. It was a spirit, whatever. I wound up at FAM.
Yeah.
My friends recruited me, in my opinion. The spirit, it was theirs for sure. And that church really raised that money for me and sent me. And I forget how much they raised, but we used it to get the minivan, and I drove with my family down to FAMU.
That's dope.
I didn't have housing. I didn't have anything. Nothing.
I'm coming though.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
And we did it. We figured it out, and things made a way. So going to FAMU was the best decision I ever made.
Yes.
And everybody says it. Yes, it's cliche, but I would have been in a completely different place. I would not have known who I could really be. Mm-hmm. If I went to a PWI, Lord knows I would have eventually, destiny would have brought me to a place. I know, a place similar to where I'm at, because I believe in that. But FAMU really took me in and like wrapped me up and showed me what I could be and gave me confidence and gave me a little bit of my own swagger. You know, I had a fake swagger, and now I'm kind of getting my own now. But it was FAMU, and that's what led me to it. It was just like a series of pushing and prodding and the Beta Alpha chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha as well.
Nice.
Got my friends recruited.
There's definitely a spirit that pulls folks to FAMU.
Yes.
I could say, again, keep a long story short, I could say literally similar experience. Had no business at
How
FAMU.
did you wind up at FAM?
Like literally, it wasn't even on my radar. I didn't even know what a HBCU was.
Straight up.
My best friend Malcolm, he was going to FSU, and my good friend Jolise, also my best friend, Jolise, she was going to FAMU.
Okay.
And I was like, well, y'all going out there. I'll just apply. Fuck it. Whatever. We'll see what happens. I'll roll the dice. I had applied other places and didn't get accepted.
Okay.
And then FAMU sent an acceptance letter, and I was like, well, these
There it
niggas want
is.
me, so they want me, so I'm sliding.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, and here's the anti-blackness of it.
Yeah.
I remember being like, all right, I'm going to use FAMU as a stepping stone to be able to like pick wherever I want to go.
Right.
So
I'm you use it like a JUCO, like
basically,
a junior college.
Basically.
Okay, I get it.
And man,
I'm gonna go to this little rinky-dink black.
I'm gonna go out there and stunt real quick.
And then go to my
Maybe go to Florida State or whatever.
They're gonna take me after that.
But I got there at orientation and it blew my mind.
Oh, had the same thing.
I was like, I remember being like, wow, I've never seen so many different types of black people here. I've never seen so many different types of black people in my life.
Exactly what you mean.
And it was
I
like
didn't know we were this different.
Yes,
for real.
It was like that was like the thesis of my entire experience.
Yeah.
It was like I just the depth of like blackness.
Yes.
So many different offerings, and for me, similar to what you said, like it was the best decision I've ever truly have ever made, because I would say that it allowed me to identify myself, give myself an identity.
Yes.
It was like, yo, you, especially as a black man, you're in this world that everybody's trying to write a narrative about who you are.
Yes.
And nigga, you don't even know who you are, what you want to do. So like, you got to figure that out. So like, write your narrative before anyone tries to write it for you. And I truly found my identity at FAMU. Like I truly was like, okay, being black isn't just being black. Like there's depth here. There's history here.
Yep.
There's
magic
yep. here. There's hidden shit that's not even on the shelves.
Yes.
You know, and there's stuff that they don't even want you to know.
Yeah.
And I'll say really quickly.
You see the FAMU?
Yo, just really quickly.
We warned you.
We
warned you.
Shout out to the Radleys.
What truly made me want to dive deeper and deeper into just understanding my identity, understanding my blackness, understanding blackness, period, was seeing how much work they put into assassinating Martin Luther King.
Absolutely. Come on.
Seeing how much work they put in, and then also recognizing that there was so much history that they didn't tell us. So like the depth behind Rosa Parks.
Yes.
But it was that Malcolm X, or not Malcolm X, but it was a Martin Luther King's assassination where I was like, wow, y'all went to so much length to cover this up. Like, y'all were like, you know what, fuck it, let's just change the bushes while we here. Like you did so much, and that for me was like, it was a heartbreak.
Yes.
That was like, all right, I truly got to figure out how to rebuild myself. I truly got to figure out like, what does it mean for me to be a black man in this world? And to me, FAMU truly allowed me to find my identity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't fault people come out of this institution with all types of transformative stories.
Yes, man.
You can't be too mad about it.
Yeah.
You really can't.
It's a very special place.
Beautiful, and I've heard this about, not to compare HBCUs or other schools, but I had, this is the experience of both, especially for black kids who grow up in areas that aren't predominantly black or don't have that or that are but have a different type of blackness, going into a space and a place that changes the math or what you can see as possible for blackness itself.
Yes,
it's a very transformative experience. I was, when you were talking about the process with the church, that you would have, if you went to a different school, you would have eventually become the Phillip that you are, but making a decision to go to FAMU, it's a portal moment. It expedites. I think we have many of those. I was reflecting on this earlier this week with the eclipse that's happening and everything. It's like there are different moments of just different people that you meet or decisions that you make that fast track you towards your destiny. And it sounds like very much going to making that decision to go to FAMU was that one of those for both of you. And I just think that's very beautiful and something to name as we get older. We go through life and like helping other people understand that like that's the type of thing that you go that makes you who you are.
Truly.
And look out for that. Look out for those moments when you're like, oh, I could do this. Or I could do that.
Yep.
That's a portal moment. That choice that you can make.
I have a question for you. Like, what is a portal moment for you? What has been something that you've been able to look back to as one of those like indistinguishable moments that set you on a path?
It was sort of a series of moments at the end of 2014.
Okay.
I had taken the LSAT. I had applied for colleges, to law schools.
Yep.
I was trying to see, who was gonna let me in, who was gonna give me some money. And actually, I got my LSAT score. That was better than expected. Shout out, Sean.
Out here flexing.
My LSAT score. And then like around the same time, the verdict in the trial against Darren Wilson, who killed Mike Brown, the verdict came out, and the person I was dating at the time, her sister-in-law, I was at her family's house for the holidays. Her sister-in-law was a cop, and the verdict came down. Derek Wilson was acquitted, and I was just heartbroken. Yep. I was just like, damn. I mean, I didn't think. But I was just like, damn. And then also having to process it, or also in a house of a police officer that was just like, didn't get it.
Yeah.
It was just hard. It was really rough for me. And I also was like, I don't actually believe in the law.
Yeah.
I don't really think I believe in the law like that. So that moment, and then I made a decision not to go to law school. And I instead left my very well-paid job at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Yes.
To
class suicide. That's what that's called.
To leave to go be the co-director of a nonprofit LGBTQ liberation organization called Get Equal. And Get Equal is where I learned a lot about direct action, where I learned a lot about narrative and storytelling, and the ability of narrative to change what was possible. I was doing a lot of policy work before then, but that decision to that period of, like, you know, Mike Brown's death was a transformative moment for me in general, but like that whole journey, deciding to not go to law school and instead work for Get Equal, led me to be connected with you. Absolutely. Led me to work with the movement for Black Lives in a different way, and definitely changed my trajectory to bring me here. You
have to quit that thing that you thought was your whole life, and that's a moment. I
really thought that it was the way to make things better, like changing policy, changing the law, changing regulations was gonna get my people closer to what we needed. But that moment, the murder of Mike Brown, and then the movements behind it, and then the acquittal of Darren Wilson, I was like, actually, none of this is real, and we need to flip all of these tables over and make a whole bunch of stuff different and new. That was, and I mean, we are clearly in that moment, like deep in the flipping now, right? Like right now, a lot of stuff is just tearing down and being exposed in ways that are necessary, but are also very disruptive and unsettling, unnerving, I think. And I don't know, I think I was just, that's why kind of going back to being in this space and it being an anointing place. It's why it's really important for, in this moment that we are culturally and politically, where so much stuff is being torn down, like not like our schools are being not just divested from, but like being turned into tools for even more indoctrination and manipulation and subject, like really tearing our folks down, limiting them. We need spaces like this, whether you want to call it a third space or a community space or anything like that. Space, a free space, literally, where people can come in and be together, be offline or be online and offline, frankly, because to say that our world is not going to be online is just not the case anymore. But
one question I have, you know, as a book lover, book owner, or bookstore owner, how do you align yourself with like the Moms for Liberty book ban push movement, if you will? I don't even want to give it that much credit.
Well, they're losing all over the country now. That movement is dying.
We love to see it.
Right, let's clap it up. Grand opening, grand closing. Go. It's time to go. But, you know, I see all of this as a part of a continuum. What we were doing throughout the 2010s was being read, consumed, watched by children around the country. We were influencing their worldview to be more critical of what their parents are doing, more critical of their position in society. And parents were like, no. That has to end. Moms for Liberty and all of these people's the critical race theory people all come from the fact that we were shifting the entirety of the nation, how people viewed the nation, how people view their role in the country, and what historically we've done to people. We did that. So I see Moms for Liberty. I think I often start to feel dejected about the state of affairs, like, damn, all this was for nothing. We did all that work. You quit your job, I quit a job. You made decisions about where you would live and what you would do based on the movement. And based on what we wanted to do. No one's forcing us, but and then look, we're in Florida, we got books banned, etc. But I think we need to look at everything as a response.
100%.
This is all in response to what we did. So
it's a response to our power.
Yeah.
Yes, our power, our ability to shift narrative and make, the world bend not to our worldview, but to, frankly, the truth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
And low key in any game, I'm thinking about like basketball, for example, like, in any game, you might run it up in the first couple of quarters.
Oh, yeah.
But at some point, there's going to be a slight little run for the other team.
Absolutely.
They might still get blown out,
Yeah.
but there's still a point in the game where they have a little run.
Halftime or something, they come out.
They respond again. They ass kicked a little bit.
Yes.
So it seems like you're saying like that was their moment. That's the moment that we're in right now.
We're living in their moment, and they're very, very, very aggressive right now because they see what is happening.
Absolutely.
The veil has come off. Their ability to control the minds and the hearts of people around the world. We see it with Israel. Israel used to be able to just say whatever it wanted, make up its own truth, and to an extent, it still is in the business of doing that.
Yeah.
But absolutely,
there's a counter truth.
Absolutely. Their hold on the narrative and being able to call everybody anti-Semitic and just for talking about Israel is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, now let's be clear. They're still a fascist government who is murdering and killing still to this day, and we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
But their ability,
the consciousness has shifted
all the way.
The window, and the other thing that is happening right now because of the foundation that has been laid over the 2010s, and I appreciate you saying that so much because we have got to tell that history.
Yes.
It's hard because it's about us and our peers and our homies, and we lived it, and some of it's a little painful, but we have got to tell that history because people cannot think that it was the civil rights movement and the Black Panthers and then whatever the hell is happening right now. My friends, there is a whole lineage and legacy that this moment is sitting on top of now, right? And so the Overton windows are they're this idea of like when people's minds can be changed about something.
Yes.
That's generally how I understand what Overton window means. Generally people think this thing about something, that's the dominant idea. Something happens and you open up a possibility and expands it. So that's what happened in October 7th of 2023 and following that with Israel and Palestine. People were like, well, wait a minute. That doesn't seem... That's not what I'm seeing, and that's what y'all are saying. So the window opened, but now this Overton window shift is happening on so many issues, very, very frequently. But it's people are able to receive it and respond to it in different ways because of the foundation of social change and transformation, and even just encouraging people to question that was at the root of so many of the movements in the 2010s.
It's easy for me to be like, we lost. Really, to be like, damn. We were this close. Some people would say 20,000 votes away if you think of it electorally. We almost had Andrew Gillum as governor. And now we got him and they're balling in the lane. We might have a black governor who's one of the worst people ever. Or you can look at it like what it is. We were winning, or we won a battle. And they came back and responded in kind. And, you could look at it like they're balling right now. They're winning. Oh, they're operating from a position of power right now. They're squashing us. You could look at it like that, or you could look at it how I am choosing to look at it, which I think is a little bit more grounded in reality. They are cornered and afraid.
That's right.
And when you've got a little animal cornered and afraid,
starts to wild out.
They're wilding out. They're like, and that is what is happening. They're like, no, we can't have books in schools. We got to put PragerU in the schools, which I heard they're doing now. We gotta do everything because this is our last opportunity to really be able to hold on to this. And so to answer your question, we see ourselves as a lot of people are donating books to us because a lot of schools and libraries, because they can't have them there, and we accept them.
Wow.
And so for us, we are a recipient of very bad policy, but also we are able to establish ourselves as a place where people can come to for the truth. And so I'm not happy with that.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say that one more time. There are schools and libraries that cannot have all of the types of books that are here at the Roots bookstore because of laws, because of Ron DeSantis, because of people like Moms for Liberty. They will not allow schools about justice movements, about queer identities, about anything that's not white,
about black people,
right? So the libraries and the schools are donating them to this bookstore. That is
Roots
incredible.
Bookstore.
That is wow.
That's
we
definitely
picked up
incredible.
books at the end of the year from 2 libraries in December, and more people are calling because they can't have the books. They can't even have them in there. So for us, this is an incredible opportunity.
Yeah,
I believe it's a horrible state of affairs, but to be able to have a space where, we're radical by definition.
Yeah.
Because we have books that are considered contraband.
Banned ones, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And so that's how we see our bookstore as a place where people can come, can learn, and get exposed to things that they are not getting in the school. And they won't get in the school.
Yeah, that's dope. It's like, imagine people dumping gold, and you're the place that's accepting it.
Yep.
You're like,
absolutely.
you could bring your gold here.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Bring your nuggets. You know what I'm saying? All of it. Yeah.
That's definitely an opportunity to build something just, again, unimaginable almost. And the privilege and just, I don't know, it just feels great to even get that awareness, because one, I every time I walk in here, I'm like, I feel great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to do something. I don't know what, but I'm ready to do something. I feel good. I feel great. Let's do it.
I do too.
But to also know that, like, this is a place where banned books are being sent.
Yep.
And accepted, and also like where you could find them. That's dope.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so very radical, very transformative, very important. Thank you for holding that.
Well, real quick, also, look, the big secret, all they're doing is pushing their kids to this bookstore.
Hello.
For sure. You know what I'm saying? It's not just young black kids coming here for
No.
15th Avenue, which they're coming, but we're getting Latino kids, we're getting white kids, we're getting people hearing about it on NPR. They're pushing, all their efforts are doing is delaying the inevitable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At
Only
some
briefly,
point.
because like we said, it's all moving fast, right?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing we have to remind ourselves and others when we're thinking about how dark this moment feels.
Yes.
We're being hit with a fire hose. It's moving really fast.
Yes.
The change is going to come fast. If the pendulum swing this way is fast, or the pendulum swing to the right is fast, the one to the left is going to be fast as well. And we have to make sure that we're
ready.
going
Yeah.
all the way.
Right.
It's not just a pendulum swing to the center and
We
stop.
gotta go
No. We going
all
all
the
the
way.
way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to compare what we were doing in the 2010s to right now, plus with what you're saying around like this idea of like, well, if I look at it, I'm like, damn, we lost, but you're choosing to look at it as like in a different way. It's kind of like we still in the game, you know what I mean? And like,
It's a long game.
and now you're in the game from this perspective of having this bookstore, and it's like, look at the weaponry you got around you.
Yeah.
We got a
So
whole
it's
new
like,
arsenal.
It's there's something there that's like electrifying. And to something that I feel like you and I were talking about, off camera earlier in the weeks, just this energy around creativity.
Yes.
I'm almost reminded of like a similar energy that I had when I was with Steve, Sandra, Comms Mafia for Dream Defenders. The Comms Mafia for Dream Defenders. Just this excitement to create this, like, I don't care what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm just going to figure out how to make time to create. If I have to stay up, if I have to just, put this one thing down and rearrange I'm just going to figure out how to create. I almost feel like it's a evolved, an evolved version of my former self in that space.
Yeah.
And I'm almost, I'm excited now that I think about it all.
Yes.
I'm excited because it's like, okay, well, I don't need to look at all the work that was done back then and, as like a loss. I can look at it as experience.
Yes.
And how I'm going to move forward.
Yeah, I was just going to ask a general question because I know we're heading to wrap up for this episode, but
we need a part 2.
Absolutely.
We definitely need a part 2.
Yeah,
3 or 4.
I'm down. I'm down.
But
I'm
I do
100%
wanna
down.
Take a second for you, Phil, because we generally like to say when we have guests on, is there anything that you want folks to share, to know, anything that's percolating for you that, you know, our audience is the homies and their homies, and so, like, you know, share out.
Yeah, I would say I alluded to it when we were texting, but I'm coming out of a depression, and I've been depressed for a very long time. And the way I've been able to describe it for people is like when you work out with a weighted vest. And so, like, you're working out with the weighted vest, and you do get faster.
Yeah,
you do get stronger
for sure.
You really actually become pretty incredible wearing the weighted vest.
Yeah.
And that's how I was for the last like 10 years. I had a vest on, and I figured out how to party, how to laugh, how to have fun, how to have, you know, relationships. I destroyed them, but, you know, like how to do everything with this weighted vest on. But the whole point is to eventually get the vest off, right? And I just learned how to do life with depression. And I didn't really acknowledge I was depressed only at moments where it got super bad, and or moments where I was feeling really good, and then I would talk about it. But I'm coming out of it, and it's the product of years of therapy, the product of getting over things from my past, and then just, I don't know. Also, I think some lunar stuff that it started.
The Astros.
So it feels really, really good. And so what I've been saying is, I don't know if there's anything I want people to know, like information wise. Come to the bookstore, support Black Men Build. But I would say, you know, the thing that, I'm a good communicator.
For sure.
And for the last few years, I've been quite comfortable sharing with you all and other people that I've been sad or depressed or like, I'm just not feeling too good.
Yeah.
And so I do want to, and I want people to hold me accountable to, and as long as it's true for myself, I want to keep that same energy about my joy and share that all the time. Like, I've said to myself, like, are you becoming a toxic positive dude? Like, why are you, like, people are asking, straight up. I'm gonna tell you something for real. I used to wake up and like do a battle in the shower. Like, I would get in the shower and then be like, today's gonna be a good day. And do mantras and write them on my mirror. Like, you are strong, you are powerful. Just all type of stuff to get myself ready for the day.
Sometimes it be like that.
For years.
For sure.
And to me, I thought that was a reflection of me getting healthy. Because I had these things in place to be able to do the battle every morning to have a good day. So now I'm waking up and like low key, like straight up, I'll be like, I have a dog, Smokey. I'll be like, hey, Smokey. He just be like, what is going on with this dude? Because I turn on music now. Nice. I'm already feeling good when I wake up in the morning. So all that to say is I'm on a joy tip right now. I'm doing things that feels good for me. I'm on a love tip. You brought up Dr. King earlier. I do want to talk about Dr. King in maybe a future show because I think we've done him a disservice. It became cool for myself and other people to just like besmirch his character and just talk all bad about it. But they killed him because he talked about love. And I think what we're witnessing right now is a world ruled by people who don't experience and haven't experienced love and want love. I'm not preaching about love your enemies right now. Though I think the end result of that is that conversation. But I think we saw it with we could talk about it and pontificate about it, but we saw the message in the Bad Bunny halftime show.
Talk about it.
And I get that it wasn't maybe the most political thing, and it's Super Bowl, it's NFL and all that. But love is really everything. It's the most important thing right now. And I think if our movement wants to come back and assert itself as the dominant force for transformation in the country, we have to show people how to love and show people what love looks like in action, and not be afraid to have joy and love. And we could yell at buildings and take over streets all we want. Again, we will have to, but when we show people about love and that's what we're committed to laughter, to joy, to dancing, to music, to creating a life that is full and happy, I think more people will recoup any of our perceived losses of the last few years with people. That's the
game. That's the play that I gotta implement. And I appreciate you lifting up the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime performance, because I, been in some conversations with folks. My work is a lot about pop culture strategy, and I think that we forget that there are many different types of power.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of our movement work has been challenging institutional power, government power, electoral power, even economic power, right? Going after corporations and stuff. But there's also cultural power.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's love is also a power. Community is also power. We saw in Minneapolis. Come on.
Yeah.
The
For
love
sure.
of that community is what was allowed the people in Minneapolis to fight against being taken over by these federal forces. They loved each other so much that they were not willing to let their neighbors get taken without a fight, to let their city be taken over. And so there are things like the NFL that make a whole lot of money off of a Super Bowl halftime show, and all of us being so into Bad Bunny and his performance put money in the pockets of some billionaires. And also it changed the way, even the conversation about what it means to be an American. There's a whole lot of Americans. A lot more
Americas.
A whole lot of Americas.
Yeah.
And that changing that, it makes it think about, there's a whole lot more of us. Even though we know here in the United States there's more of us than them. Yes, and if you bring in the other Americas, there's way more of us than them. And so I think that there's absolutely a conversation to be had about what's the play that we're adding to our team. We're in the third quarter. They're on their run. They looking like they about to take the series.
We about to go noir.
Hilarious.
Shout out my babe.
Shout out
my girl. Icon in the making.
But before we close, I do want to add to this conversation on love that, I was thinking, I feel like in order to really have a capacity or, the capacity for love, I feel like you have to have some connection or relationship with your identity. Because to me, I think that's the pathway to be able to find self-love. And I feel like to find self-love and to find your identity is to truly like, I don't know, I think that there's like a center of energy, there's like a power there to me that like, I know how to love myself, so now I understand. It's like I have my own connection to my own love and my own awareness of my own identity, so I love that. And now I have the capacity and ability to see love in other people. And now it's like, I'm not loving you because what society taught me about a black man who reads and has locks and tattoos. I'm loving you because I know myself, and to know myself is to like also know you, have some bit of understanding that like I can see myself in you, and thus I could see love in you. I just think this having this, I feel like, like you were saying, definitely gotta have a round 2, round 3 of this conversation. And I would love to, ironically enough, love to have a conversation about love. And maybe even talk more about like how identity is connected to that, because I'm like, I feel like there's a depth there.
100%.
Brother Phil?
Yes.
We love you.
Appreciate you. Love you so much, bro.
Love you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny.
Word.
Thank you for the
Danny.
space. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of y'all. This is so beautiful. We can't wait to do it again. Please, if you're in South Florida, get here to the Roots Bookstore Marketplace.
Pull up.
It's a vibe.
What's the address?
6610 Northwest 15th Avenue in historic Liberty City. I also want to shout out Cameron, General Manager, Isaiah. I don't know if you know his title, but he holding it down. Munch, Sharina, all of us are co-owners of the space, so want to elevate them as well.
Yes, shout out to all of you all putting in your love, your energy, your creative brilliance into this space. We feel it. I can't wait to build upon that. Pull up to the bookstore. Shout out the N-Word podcast. We're here with our brother Phil. Peace.